speak to the 17-year-olds who are starting to stand in the blunt rotation. If you're older than me or if you're high, this isn't for you. I'm writing this commentary high right now because working sober feels like playing soccer with flip-flops. It's possible, but bro, put your shoes on, your feet stink. I risk a lot saying I'm high. Sponsors don't mess with me, this might get demonetized, and technically, I'm just on my ADHD meds, but I'm on drugs. And the point of this video is you shouldn't be afraid of drugs frying your brain. Joe Biden literally wouldn't be able to finish a sentence without Adderall. Drugs should scare you for a much different reason. I'm a functioning crackhead. I've done pretty much everything but crack. You can't really tell, right? I look like the dude at Kohl's on the wall above the sneakers. I'm looking alright. It's not my fault I was prescribed Adderall at 12 years old. I've never been addicted, no health issues ever from drugs because I'm lucky enough to have stable life circumstances. People going through it are way more likely to get addicted because drugs becomes their escape. That's why so many veterans who were doing heroin in Vietnam came home and quit like nothing. You're in a goddamn pointless jungle war. You need to get high. Once they come home to AC and a hippie wife, they're good. They don't need heroin. If I wasn't so lucky, if I had some crazy hospital bill, there's a good chance I'd be in rehab or dead. In a lot of ways, years of drug experience have helped all different aspects of my life. And the right dose, they're tools. They're like cheat codes for your brain. In the right amount, drugs aren't bad for you. Drugs have been perfected by chemists and an integral part of spirituality for thousands of years. Taken correctly, it can mend the creaks and cracks in your brain. With crack. The problem is, we're human. I want to warn the kids in rotation thinking about taking a puff because nobody explained this to me. The worst part about drugs are the benefits. It got nothing to do with the health defects. What makes drugs dangerous is knowing the cheat codes to the game. There's a reason you always see the best rappers with the purple cup, why Wall Street and DC politicians are all prescribed ADD meds, why comedians are all recovering alcoholics. It doesn't mean the rapper doesn't have talent, the politician isn't capable, or the comedians aren't funny. It's just so much easier to get there with drugs. Maybe if I wasn't diagnosed so young, I could have found the sober way. Regular exercise is better than therapy for mental health. There's other ways to conquer your mind without drugs, but I know the cheat codes. I can't unlearn them. Once shawty meets a man with a car, you think she's ever gonna get back on the train for some dick? No amount of yoga and meditation will make you forget how fucking awesome being high is. That feeling is attainable without drugs, but it's just so much easier. Every kid in college thinks they're depressed and anxious because it means their problems are out of their control. We don't do it on purpose. It's a mental trick we play on ourselves to validate hardship instead of change it. If my grades suck, I'm lonely all the time, and I'm broke, it's better to blame a condition than myself. The best feeling I've ever experienced in life was sex on Molly. My face was doing this for like in this mind state, I was thinking, this is the best feeling I've ever had. And it was true. Even this, I knew. I think about it all the time. A $10 pill and a $20 chicken wings and fries date was all I needed to reach peak human experience. It was too easy. I bet those white guys that spend months climbing Mount Everest and then make it to the top and take that pic with ice in their beard, they felt at the top of the mountain what I felt in that hotel at 3 a.m. But those white guys earned it. They prepared for weeks and suffered through freezing temperatures. I was just bored on a Thursday. Why climb an ice mountain when you could snort one? 2 years ago, I was still in college, fully convinced that I was gonna get a job working in the television industry. Maybe I was gonna get a job as the Chiron generator. That's the guy that puts the box left graphic of a car crash on local news, or the guy who holds the teleprompter for Jimmy Fallon. I was completely okay with that. I like TV. SpongeBob was cool for show. I'm gonna work in that industry. Then Mr. Beast hit me up after years, and I saw what he had made out of YouTube, a passion that I had pretty much given up on. Someone that had been at the same starting point as me, had his own business going, all this money, all this creative freedom, and immediately my goals changed. Now the bar for my life was the same as his.
Yo, hoes get wet over scenery.
If I hadn't met him, right now I'd probably be interning at a 9-to-5 studio. I didn't care that much about my career. I just wanted an apartment and some weed. Seeing what was possible changed the entire direction of my life.
What you gotta say?
Hey guys.
Welcome to my vlog.
Hey guys, welcome to my vlog. I'm sorry if you're tired of hearing me talk about this, but if life was a movie, my screenwriting professor would call it the inciting incident.
You're a wizard, Harry.
Of course, I'm glad to be where I am now and actually have goals, but now every day is a constant battle with my brain because I'm a dopamine fiend. Dopamine fiend is a cool way of saying idiot. I'm just inherently not like the successful people I know. The people I know on track to be multimillionaires, if they're not already, are all stone cold sober. You believe that? Agent Zero, Steezy Kane, Mr. Beast, Alan King. These guys are so dedicated to growth and success, it's confusing. They don't party, don't use crutches, they don't even drink soda. They deadass wake up at 5 a.m. because they like it. Working 80 hours a week for fun. There's no time for nothing but work because it's the only thing they care about. You think I'm exaggerating, but I'm not. at all. The guys I mentioned are all early 20s and won't even sip a beer. I promise the only thing they think about when they're not working is work. It's just how they're wired. Every day is a mental battle to be like them, but I'm just not. Just like you and everyone else, I want wealth and respect, but my brain wants simple dopamine just as much. So let me just warn you Gen Zers who lay on TikTok for 4 hours hitting a disposable vape, the girls who chug 3 large iced coffees for breakfast, the boys watching Pornhub in the bathroom, they're giving you ADHD. Why are songs 2 minutes long now? Why is there a new biggest rapper every other week? You probably already checked the comments twice already. Why is there a mid-roll ad right here? Once drugs lose the taboo, which is gonna be soon because it's getting more legal, we gotta collectively change the way we scare kids into staying sober. Because all that fear mongering just makes it seem more fun. You shouldn't be afraid of drugs frying your brain. There's no Apple if Steve Jobs wasn't getting trippy with hippies. Sober isn't smarter. Sober's playing the game honestly. You should stay sober because the alternative is cheating. You're like that kid who jailbroke his iPod Touch to hack Flappy Bird. You know, yeah, you got the high score, but you ain't earned it, and you know it. That's the basic idea of this commentary. For Patreon, I just wanted to talk about how staying sober is an option and how actually doing as many drugs as I do, I probably don't recommend them. I don't recommend them to anyone. If you're sober, I don't recommend starting to do drugs because it just changes your perspective on how you approach life. I struggle with drugs because I see these spots in my brain that need band-aids, and drugs is kind of like putting duct tape over it. It's like putting duct tape over a pipe, you know? It's still kind of a leaky pipe, but you're covering it for now. That's what drugs is for me. And now I'm just rambling. I'm going to cut this off. Sorry to my mom for talking so much about this. I know you're watching this, and that's all I got to fucking say.